Are you a father facing false allegations in the UK family courts? Watch out. The new laws might make it even harder for you to see your kids. Inform yourself now. Yes, so here we are once again. Whew, today is just one of those crazy days. Just give me 1 second, forgive me, because I'm a bit overwhelmed with all this stuff going on in this crazy UK family courts. My name is John Paul. I'm from bravefathers.com, and I'm working on the project to help fathers get better results in UK family courts, especially when they are facing false allegations, because that's usually the biggest problem that we face as fathers. And when you listen to some of the stories, it's crazy, and it's understandable when people go wild. I don't obviously condone any violent or unnecessarily harsh behavior. I think I mentioned in the video where a father called the judge a cunt and said to him, "Who are you to tell me whether or not I can see my kids," or something to that effect. And he got 4 months in prison for that. There's a bit more to the story, but he threatened the judge as well. And do not do that. Don't do anything that will make your case even worse, because it's already rigged against you, right? As fathers, when you go into the family court, there's already a plan put in place that works against you, and it's very painful to watch. And I've been through this. I've been through a lot of family court hearings, fighting as well, and it's hard. But here's what's important: you have to understand that you are in a certain position. So today, I'm going to repeat some of the things that I've said before. I'll add some more context and some of the stuff you really are not going to like. And to be honest with you, you may feel like I'm attacking you at some point. And the reason why you feel that is I'm going to be brutally honest, because the court, specifically as it stands, the process itself, not necessarily the court itself, but the process targets your weaknesses. And some of the things that you may think are your strengths are actually your weaknesses. And a lot of people disagree with me. Very few people agree with me. And perhaps that's why very few people get good results, because very few people can understand the psychology of the family courts. So today I really want to look at the psychology of the family courts, the psychology of CAFCASS, a little bit on the psychology of the judges, because I don't know as much as I wish about the psychology of the judges, the psychology of the magistrates, and everybody else involved. And more importantly than all of those is your psychology. Your psychology. One moment. So now, let me make sure. Okay. So I'm assuming you can hear me clearly. So the first thing I want to talk about is you. Because before you even got your application in, or before you got your first non-molestation order, or whatever was your first contact with the family court, a lot of people have worked very hard to make it almost impossible for you to see your children. And think about it this way: there are organizations that profit, make a lot of money from fathers not being able to see their kids. And those organizations have been around for a long time. And they are very closely involved with the court system. Okay? Some of those organizations train social workers, they train CAFCASS officers, and now they want to train the judges. and the judges are resistant to it. But we'll see how long they can hold, how long the Ministry of Justice will stay the Ministry of Justice, as unjust as it may seem. Because once the judges are under the control of these organizations, it's done. You might as well hand over the country to them, because they will gain so much power that everything else will be futile. And all these organizations do is destroy lives. That's all they do. They don't protect anybody. They don't protect any victims. They don't do anything of that sort. They give the illusions that they are protecting people. But what they really do is take advantage of the real victims and then create a lot of fake victims, creating chaos in families, making all these people miserable, just misery. And if you get trapped in that system, which it is designed to trap you, your life will be very difficult. And a lot of people cannot take it, and they take their own lives. And I've been at a point more than once where I had contemplated that, unfortunately. So I have to be honest about that. And it's tough. It's really tough. And I don't believe that the issue is lack of support, because we shouldn't have this problem in the first place, right? So when they say, oh, we need more support for men, why? Why can't we not have the men need the support in the first place, right? The same for the women. There's a way we could live in our society. There's a way we could do things, and I'll talk about that. That takes away all those problems. But once those problems are gone, these organizations can't make money. So what these people do is they have a very clear path to how your proceedings will go. And the first time I realized this was I was in a meeting with some people. I can't, obviously, I'm supposed to keep confidentiality because of the law. But I can share that I was meeting some people, and everything they said seemed predetermined. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We are looking at, the next year or so, and it's like you already know what's going to happen. And the more I kept asking for advice, it kept having certain patterns. And I was thinking, none of these things have happened yet. How do people know that this was going to happen? So that's when I realized that the steps are pretty much designed before you go in, before you go into the court. So usually what happens, as you may have experienced, you either receive a non-more or she just cuts off contact with children, depending on how much she knows on what to do. Then you file your application. Then you talk to CAFCASS, which is, of course, part of the process. But then come the false accusations, right? The allegations of domestic abuse. And then you have to fight the non-more. You have to have your fact-finding hearing. Then usually they let you write a letter, maybe a phone call or two, some video contact. Contact centers, supervised contact in the community. The child may come see you during the day, maybe supervised contact at your home, progressing to overnight stays if you fight hard enough, all the way to whatever else you can get. It's not uncommon. The good thing is to get half of all holidays. I'm glad that happens. But other than that, it's very difficult for fathers to have significant contact with their children. And the courts do a lot to stop you. That's the truth. And I'm not saying necessarily the judges do that, but the people involved in the court process who inform the court process, they do things to stop you. And I have definitive proof of that. And unfortunately, some of it is confidential, so I cannot share it here. But I can confidently say that there are people within the court system who will lie, they will make up stuff, and they will just obstruct your opportunity to spend time and have your children. And they will do it with no remorse. They will do it with no regret. They just think that's the right thing to do. But let's come to you first. So the same way the court has a predetermined set of steps is the same way whoever you had a child with knew before they met you that they were going to do this. If you talk to any father who has had a child with a woman who's had children from a different relationship, you will often hear a story, a very common story. And that story is, when I first met her, she was saying all these bad things about the father of the other kid or kids. But then when things went wrong, I was the one that she was saying bad things about. And the same thing she did to him, she did to you. What does that mean? By the time she met you, she already had done it before, right? And if she hadn't done it before, she knows friends who have done it, cousins, sisters. You know, they learn from other females, from these very organizations, what to do. So what they really do is they think to themselves, I'm going to get a guy who's going to give me a baby. So there you are thinking you are all in love. There you are thinking you found the one, the girl who loves you, who wants to be with you, the right person for you. But all this time, she's playing you. She's pretending to want you, all because she wants a baby from you, all because she wants your seed. She wants to get pregnant. Because she knows that at some point, once you're attached to her and the children, she has a clear path to take the children from you, to take a lot of your money, take a property from you, and essentially ruin your life and cut you off. So, in essence, in order to retain the support of the females, the women's organizations need to deliver on cutting the fathers off. You see, so a lot of people would say the women are not necessarily vindictive. That's not true. They are very vindictive. But where they are right is that there's other motivation. But the motivation is not just the anger from the relationship. That there is the anger as well. But the truth is, before she met you, she knew that she would separate from you, she would divorce you or break up with you, and put you in a position where she can cut you off. So, on one hand, the family court is the only thing that is stopping them from doing that successfully, right? Because you cannot show up at a house because you'll be arrested. You cannot do anything drastic because the social workers will make it look like you kidnapped your own child, and so on and so forth. So, on the flip side of things, you could actually argue that the UK family courts are the only thing that could help you, if and when they do help you. And usually for most fathers, that's the last resort. That's why they go to court. So the reason why mothers don't show up for mediation or mediation doesn't work is because there was never the intention of working with you. No matter how much sex she had with you, no matter how much she says she loves you, or she said she loved you, no matter how she did the nicest things for you, that was all part of the love bomb, of the trap, of the bait that would keep you in, that would help you think that you are in a good place with her. And then when the time comes, she was going to break up with you anyway. She knew this before she met you, right? So it could have been you, it could have been another guy. She already was on the search for the nice guy who will buy her a drink, who will wait for sex, right? Not like the assholes who fuck on the same night. The guy who believes she's a good girl who doesn't fuck guys on the same night, right? You might still believe she's a good girl. Oh, no. You know, that's fine. And the system is set up such that even saying what I'm saying right now makes you a bad person, makes you the bad guy, right? Makes you the crazy one. So people reject this until it happens to them. And even when it happens to them, they can't believe it. They still think there is a chance. They still think somehow they could appease this female when all she really wants, all she wanted from the beginning was to get your seed, to get pregnant, and then to siphon money from you, to siphon attention, to feel important because she now is the victim that everybody is protected. You see, we live in a society where fathers have been, over time, removed from families. And even when the father is physically present, emotionally, mentally, he's emasculated, he's put down, right? So these females have grown up looking down on men. They already know from childhood that they have special privileges. At first, they don't understand it. And later, they just learn to live with it. Like that's the way to live. That's why they don't, most of the time, produce anything useful to the society. Yes, they raise the kids, but at what price? By damaging them, by removing the father from their lives? You see, I'm tired of all this pretense and the pandering that I'm hearing from solicitors, from all kinds of people who are even supposed to be helping fathers, pretending as if there is some sense to it, like as if there is some just cause that allows for this. There isn't. It's wrong. It's destroying us as a society. It's destroying the world as we know it. It's like a disease. It's horrible, because the next generation will be raised on social media, right? That will be the first generation that from birth, there's just social media. We have the first generation that's going to grow up in a world where AI is a reality, right? It used to be science fiction to most people just a few years ago. If you're a programmer, such as myself, maybe you knew about these developments earlier on. But for most people, that was science fiction. It wasn't a thing. And even the AIs that you use are programmed to look down on men. They're used to put men down, like put anything. Ask your favorite AI, ChatGPT. Ask, oh, I hate my girlfriend. What should I do? And see what she says. And then put in, I hate my boyfriend. What should I do? See the difference in the response you get. The hatred, the disrespect towards men is encouraged. So these females are raised with this. And many are raised, and I know this for a fact, that their dream is to find the right guy and divorce him. I know this because I've seen it, I've heard it. Okay? And I've seen people defend this. So when you realize this, you have to ask yourself, why was I such an easy target? Because that is the key to unlocking the psychology, your own psychology, that will give you the most clarity you can have to win in the UK family court or any family court in the world. Because it is going to be rigged against you regardless. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're going to uncover some third eye that will let you see something, that is not there. That's not going to happen. However, when you have clarity, you are less susceptible to the tiny traps that they expect you to have, because most fathers don't want to accept that they were fooled. When I said they accept that they were betrayed and so forth, what they don't want to accept is before she met him, she already knew she was going to meet a sucker. Okay? That is the harsh reality. If you realize that, then you can now address what made you weak, what mentalities you have, what weaknesses you probably still have. So what made you weak? What mentality put you in this position? And what mentality do you still have that makes you susceptible to these traps? If you don't do this, if you don't accept that you were fooled, that she never loved you, that she never wanted you, that she never found you attractive, never, no matter what she said, no matter what she did, it was all a game. It was fake. Until you accept that, you will forever struggle. And I see fathers, I hear fathers who have not been with their exes for 10, 15 years, and they still have, resentment towards them. You have to let go of the resentment, but you can't let go of the resentment if you don't accept what happened, if you don't grieve it. Grief is your most important tool, grieving what happened. Not in a support group by yourself when nobody can see you, so you can grieve it fully, right? feel the pain, feel the emotions, feel the anger by yourself. It will take you days, weeks, months, but you have to put in that work. That is the most important work you will do. Because as you keep doing it, things will start coming to you. Your eye will start opening. You will start understanding. You'll start understanding the whole psychology. Because the whole psychology is really built so that the female can make a clean break from you as much as possible. That would collapse the society if they're trying to do that now with the new laws. But if they had done it before, they'll have collapsed this society. And I'm sure they attempted and they realized it wasn't working. That's why they changed the laws. And now they want to change them back. So you have to protect yourself. But the most important thing you have is your mind and your heart. Those are your tools. That's what the system targets. Because so many fathers go into the courtroom, right? And you look around, there's the judge, then there is the solicitor barrister, there is the female, there may be CAFCASS, there may be some observer, but you are the only one there really who is trying to make sure you have contact with your child. And if you have a solicitor or a barrister, you realize that a lot of them don't really do much. A lot of them lie to you. They don't tell you what's happening. They pretend as if it's something that it's not. Some may even lie to you and tell you, oh, the system is fair. They'll tell you bullshit like, oh, because mothers normally are the resident parents, that's why the children end up with her. No, the system is designed for children to end up with her. It's by design. It's by design. It's not something that happens by accident. Okay? So the way the laws are, this country has got a very intelligent way of creating laws. Because if the government wanted tomorrow to flip it, they don't have to change any laws. Not even one law on the books. And they can flip it. They can flip it. Because the laws are, for the most, not 100%, but for the most part, gender neutral. They are actually gender neutral. But they are so flexible, that's not the right word. They are so versatile that you can use the same laws with a different implementation from the system overall, and you have a different result. So people are trying to, change the laws, even when the new changes come. If the system decides to flip it, they can still flip it. The laws are not, it's not the law that is the problem, either for mothers or for fathers. It's the system. It's the world in which we live in. It's the bubble that we've created where we think this is not going to come back to bite us, but it is. So I would argue how we got there, how I got there, how you got there, is we suppressed our masculinity for a long time. We refused to be men by not speaking our mind, by suppressing our desires, by being ashamed of our desires, by lying, by trying to impress females, by trying to live up to a standard that we think the society has set for us. And then we have these caricatures of masculinity, like being macho, or the other bullshit I've been hearing lately, like the divine male, which basically means you're docile. Not accepting that you're different from the female in every single way. Yes, some things are in common, but we are not the same, and will never be. Never. We will never be the same. So you have to understand that this is a system designed to split you from your family, to separate you from the people you love the most. And the female is a willing participant. She's part of it. Every woman's magazine, virtually every woman's blog, everything that is done for females includes information about this stuff. It's infiltrated our society. We don't look at those things because we don't care about makeup. We don't care about all sorts of things. We don't watch the same things. Females and males don't watch the same things, with some exceptions. But in general, even when we watch the same thing, we see different things because we have different priorities. We are different. We are not the same. So when you don't accept that you're a man, when you don't know how to be a man, when you don't accept that you don't know how to be a man, then you lose. Because being a man and a woman, okay, not every adult female is truly a woman, and not every adult male is truly a man. You have to earn it. You have to grow into it. You have to work towards it. And when you get there, that's when you have a chance of winning. That's when you have a chance of winning. That's where you have a chance of winning. Otherwise, you will lose, because all they need to do is trigger you one time and you will say something stupid or do something stupid. Like the man I was talking about in the beginning who called the judge a cunt. And I've seen fathers do stuff like that. I've seen other fathers lash out at judges. I've seen fathers wrongly think that CAFCASS holds more power than they do. It's just an illusion. The CAFCASS officer that comes to you doesn't have the power you think she does or he does. The management will make the decision. So when they try to help you, I've said this before, there's a limit to what they can do. So when a CAFCASS officer tries to help you, there's a limit to the help that CAFCASS officer can give you, because the manager will override any decision that they think is too much in the favor of the father. In a very few cases does it show that the mother is abusive, because in most of these cases, the mothers are abusive. How do I know this? Because smart, intelligent people don't stop the other parents from seeing their kids just because of spite, just because they're angry with them, just because they don't like them, and even just because they hate them. That's not what people do. I've met mothers, right? I've met mothers who despise the fathers of their kids. They still make sure that father sees their kids as much as he wants to. So there are women out there who reason, and they have a different kind of heart. They have a different kind of heart. These women have a different kind of heart. So the same way most males don't grow up to choose the right woman for themselves, most females are not grown up to be chosen. Now, you see a guy, like I've done in the past, sleep with a girl and then not pursue a relationship with her. And people think, oh, he's an asshole, he's a bad guy. But you see, what they don't tell you is that female showed red flags. But when she showed you her red flags, she told you, oh, I'm sorry. It's because I was abused or somebody hurt me. And sometimes I lash out. And you think, oh, I'm going to be that good guy, show her my love. I'm going to show her so much love, so much warmth that she's never had, right? But she's fooling you. She knows you're going to fall for it because she's discussed this with friends. When you talk to fathers, other fathers who've been through this, who are going through this, you see patterns, you see the same story. So it's not a coincidence. And these people work very hard to make sure you fail in family court, you fail in your relationship. You didn't have a chance from the beginning. None of us did. So now that you know this, you have to know what your next step is. So the next step is to face it. One of the things I always recommend is write down everything that she does or did that triggers you, every kind of insult, every disrespect, every action that makes you angry, that makes you just triggered. Write them all down and process them. Why does it make you angry? Or you start thinking about it. You have to really process it, even if it means you talk to yourself about it. But you have to process it with the intention of letting it go, not to build it up, just to hate yourself. And people will say, psychologists will say, oh, you're re-traumatizing yourself. Bullshit. Bullshit. You see, it's like a whole thing where they keep you stuck in a certain mental state, so you never see the truth. And to be fair, some of these therapists actually believe this bullshit, right? They'll say, oh, you can never heal your trauma. That's not true. because I know I've healed a lot of trauma. I've been to some dark places because of this process. Not just this process, obviously, other things in my life too. But this process has taken me to some of the darkest places I've ever been. I faced the kind of demons I never thought I had. And when I do face them, the trauma goes away. A lot of people that I used to resent and be angry with, I finally made peace with who they are by making peace with myself. I was broken down. The first night I remember when I got help, it took me about 20 hours to finally find help. Because even the police officer on the scene, when things went wrong in my situation, first said she was gonna give me uh, the number to the victim support. Then later she was like, "Nah, you don't need to call victim support." But I found a way, right? Because I'm tenacious like that. And when I got help, I broke down. I was crying. I was broken. Because that was the first time I realized I'm no more going to be in this abusive situation that I was in. That's why you have to get help. That's why I'm starting this project. I don't yet know where it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to go, but I know it's going to go well. I know it's going to make a difference in people's life. It's going to change the world, God willing, inshallah. It's going to change the world. And you have to really, really allow yourself to go through this process, because you don't want the court to be the place where your anger comes out, right? You don't want your trauma to come out in court. You want it sorted, because that's when they get confused. When you don't get triggered, it really confuses them. And it's easy to get triggered because the stuff they say is so insane that you get disoriented, because like, what? Like every fiber of you is confused, because the reality they live in is so crazy that they'll shift the goalpost or the center of reality as it goes. But there's only so far it can go before them themselves going crazy, which some of them have gone crazy when you listen to them. So you must deal with these things. Then your next step is to start preparing your legal defense. Don't count on your solicitor or your barristers to do that for you, because your job is to instruct them. They need to give you legal advice. But remember, many of them lie. They really do. So you have to speak to as many of them as you can. You have to learn from as many people as you can. You have to read. You have to start reading case law. You have to start learning how to write your position statements. I think I'm going to make a course on that, perhaps. How to draft your position statement, how to draft your witness statement. And you should draft them over time, because a lot of people, even those who help you, will say, "Oh, yeah, we can whip something up in a couple of hours." You will lose that way, because you need to spend the time that you're waiting for hearings. You need to be spending all that time preparing, or every day you need to find some time to prepare, or get somebody else to help you to prepare, if to make up for the time that you can't. But it's the preparation that is key, because you never know when there's going to be an opening for you to get a little more, right? Because it's a long game, and you never know where there's going to be a trap that you may be able to avoid, or you may fall into a trap, but your preparation will mitigate a lot of the things so that you can get a better result. It's all about preparation. So you need to study the law. You need to study the system. You need to understand. And I'm going to create resources to help you navigate through that. I'm still new to this. I just started. It's just been a couple of weeks. And before I was doing it, but nothing formal like that, just helping fathers here and there. I had some clients that took on for a longer period of time. And I decided that more people need this, because I wish I had this. I wish I had this for myself when I started. And my heart goes out to you, because I know how painful it is. Just think about when I started, how hard it was. It's so painful. It really is. When nobody believes you, when your family doesn't believe you, when people turn against you, when you lose your job, you lose your savings, you lose your home, you lose your children, you lose your children. And essentially, you lose the woman you thought you loved. You lose everything. Your whole reality is broken all of a sudden. And that's when all these parasites, all these vultures jump in and take advantage of you. But you are the engine. So the more broken you are, the more they can feed. So the more you strengthen yourself, the better you will do for yourself. So that is your next step. Start taking care of yourself, right? So I'll put my hands up, okay? I've not been taking care of myself as far as my body is concerned as much as I should. But this is something I'm doing now. I've started working on that. Started exercising more, eating better, cut down my sugar way, way, way down. I drink way less. I still have my alky tendencies here and there, but I don't drink as much as I did at one point. At one point, I was really drinking too much. Poof. And I love my whiskey, and I think it's good to drink. You just can't do it all the time. Okay? Take one of these lives. I'll have a drink with you, right? So it's good. I like my drink. I'm not gonna pretend, but I don't drink every day, and I don't drink every week. Yeah. Well, the past couple of weeks, I've had a couple of drinks, but it's not like before, right? Because those times I used to drink a lot, sometimes starting from the morning. Yeah, so that's my weakness. So I wasn't taking care of myself, and I've made this mistake. I haven't gone to exercise as much as I should have, so I'm gonna start doing that again. Just taking care of myself physically, eating better, finding things I love. If you have a hobby, do it. If you like to, I don't think you should date one woman at this point. You should get to know women, right? Date a few. If your religion or your morals prevent you from sleeping with them, you don't have to sleep with them. You can go out, have drinks, get to know women from a different side, start observing them, start vetting them to see if they are good enough for you, right? Whether they deserve you, whether eventually they will deserve your seed. And it takes more than a week, takes more than a month, takes probably about a year to figure it out, because you have to see her under different circumstances. What's she like when it's in the winter? Because in summertime, everybody can be smiling when the sun is up, right? When it's fun. But when it's cold, when it's difficult, when it's rainy? That she's gonna make an excuse and not come see you. Things like that. You need to give yourself time for those things so that you don't make the same mistakes. And more importantly, so that you become so strong, so powerful that such things can't happen to you. And the power is not the power that the society gives you, it's the power that is within you. So the societal power that comes from money, status, looks, possessions, abilities, your skills, that's not true power. Those are symptoms, signs of power. Those are products of power. But they also are not a complete picture of what power is. Because the true power is really when you're by yourself. When you go out into the world, the strength you build by yourself is what helps you navigate it. So that's the thing. Because a lot of men think masculinity, being masculine, is providing and protecting. That's not what being masculine is. Being masculine means is being a leader, and you lead by example. You take care of yourself first. You do what you need to do for yourself first. So if you want to be strong, your family to be strong, you become strong first. You want your kids to get good grades, you start studying what you need for yourself, for your career, for your job, and study that. Let them see you studying. Whatever it is you want people to do it first. And that's how you lead. And leadership sometimes means you delegate, right? That's why you need to have the right female, the right woman who wants to follow you, who wants to be with you. Because otherwise, you get back to the same situations. And I've seen fathers who are in court proceedings starting to date a woman that is very clear she's abusive, disrespectful to them, and they still stay with the woman, thinking it's gonna be different. So how do they have a chance? So if you're doing that, stop, stop, stop. You can't be doing that to yourself. So you have to take care of yourself. Little by little, build yourself up and build the things around you so that regardless of what happens, you as a man are in a better position than you were ever in your life, right? Ever. You have to go to new heights so that in worst case scenario, if you don't get to see your kids, you will be the kind of man that they wish was their father, which you are, but that they wish they had in their life. So, God willing, you have a good relationship once, because most kids do seek out their fathers. And some kids, I've seen it myself, are so alienated from their fathers that they don't want to contact them. And when you talk to those guys, they are good guys. But don't let this bring you down. Don't let the devil win. Don't let the system win against you, because this is your life. Don't let them take your soul away from you. As difficult as it is, listen, I battle with this every day myself. So I know it's easier said than done. Yet we must go on. We must keep going. We must win. No matter what, we must win. Because there comes a point, there's nothing she can do to you. One way or the other, it gets to that point. She's out of your life. You cut her off. And I think I have to start giving some specific advice as well. So one tip is make sure you use a parenting app. Get it ordered by court. That's how you communicate. So that all communication is recorded, and just use it logistically. I think I should make that's another idea for a video of what you should be doing with that, because a lot of fathers get it wrong too. But at some point, you cut her off. And they used to be saying that in show business, the best revenge is success. So that is how you revenge. And I heard a father say today, and it's a bit of a public figure, so I'm not going to say who it was. But he says, if you're in your 40s and this happens to you, you are done. That's not true. It's never too late. If this is your time, you have life experience. You know a lot. You know a lot. You're not done. This is going to be the best time of your. These are going to be the best years of your life. You have things, see things, do things, be things that you had never been. This is your time. No matter how bad it gets, remember the good is coming. It's not going to be easy because you're dealing with your whole life. If you're, let's say, in your 30s, your 40s, you're dealing with decades of wrong indoctrination, of bullshit. So it's not going to change overnight. You're going to have starts, you fall, but at some point you start flying, you start soaring. And the world will worship at your feet. The world will worship at your feet. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in you. And it is going to hurt. But you can do it. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and they don't want you to see. They're bringing new laws, which they think are going to break fathers apart. And I'm sure in the beginning they will succeed. But never forever, because you are a man and we are men. And masculinity is a force of nature. Masculinity is a force of nature. It's bigger than you, it's bigger than me. And it always wins, because that is what keeps the world together. Because all this bullshit, if all the men said no, it can't happen. Because at the end of the day, the only reason why this is possible is because there are males who will enforce it. Think about it. Think about it. If all the males said, we are not doing it, overnight it's done. So who really is doing it? And I understand many of the males have been manipulated. They are indoctrinated, just as you and I have been. So that's why they do what they do. They think it's okay. They think it's right. And it's a very clever system that divides people and oppresses people, because this is oppression. This is oppression. You see, I wouldn't say that women are not oppressed, but they're not oppressed in the ways they think they are oppressed. They don't see what their real oppression is. And it's so easy to steer them because, again, they have a different mentality. Different things appeal to them than to us. They identify with the group much more quickly, which makes sense evolutionarily. But we are different, and they say it's wrong to say this, but I'm saying it because it's true. That is the truth. And until we learn the reality, we can't win. So once you've educated yourself, once you've grieved a lot of your trauma and you started taking care of yourself, you have to then practice how you're going to speak in court if you're representing yourself. If you're going to instruct a solicitor, you need to have an outline of what you're going to tell him to do. You need evidence to prove that your false allegations are indeed false. I made a stupid mistake at one point, being so naive, and I deleted all the negative messages that I had at the time, all the insults, all the put downs, all the abuse, thinking I was getting rid of the negativity. What I was doing was getting rid of the evidence. My mistake, my bad. My bad. That was my mistake. And maybe things would have been different if I had all that evidence, because I had quite good evidence that I destroyed. Am I getting any comments? No. So you need to gather your evidence. You need to show that you didn't do the things you did. If you know some of the allegations he's making, maybe you've already received some of the allegations, you need to write your response to all of them in as much detail as you can. Because, again, everything that she says will be assumed to be true. Even though they'll say otherwise, they will assume it's true. That's why you can't see your kids, because they think the allegations might be true. So there are many times where the court finds the allegations to be false or untrue. Of course, there's no repercussion for the female, for making false allegations. But your evidence can help exonerate you. So one thing you have to know is they'll paint you as a certain kind of character, a certain kind of man. So you have to be very careful of what you say, because certain things that you say that you may be normal could just be taken out of context, and they will be taken out of context. So if there was an argument or a disagreement, you have to be very, very careful what you say. And I will not say too much on that here, just so that it is effective, right? Because if I say it on YouTube and it falls into the wrong hands, it will be more difficult. And and again, there are no guarantees with the court. You could do all the things right and still get the wrong outcome. But you want to increase your chances. So there's a way to go about telling your story and understanding what's going on and how to read between the lines, where you can present your case in a way the judge will understand and see where you're coming from and hopefully believe you. not easy to do. It's difficult, and it's a very hard process. The other thing is, if you still have your CAFCASS officer, or if you already have a meeting scheduled, or you are going to have a meeting, but if they are still involved, you need to find a way to get them on your side. You need to find a way, and I know it sounds crazy, it's not always possible, but for them to actually see the value in you as a father. I have to say, even though the first conversation I had with the CAFCASS officer, it didn't go how I wanted, because I wasn't expecting the allegations. Oh my God. I was shocked. That was a shock. You know, like, boom, like all of a sudden somebody's throwing all these allegations at you, and you are confused about what's going on. But I would say they were quite balanced as time went on, when they understood me, when they realized all I wanted was to do the best thing for my child, for my children. And they started helping or being more helpful. And then I had my officers change as well. And they were quite, they did the best they could. But also, that's because I knew how to approach them. And some are probably sent from hell, right? But not all of them are like that. Not all of them are like that. And you can't look at them like that. And they are used to people being abusive to them. They are used to people being abusive to them. They are used to people being disrespectful towards them. They are used to people treating them badly. CAFCASS is used to people trying to disrespect them. So when you do it, you're just another one of those. There are ways which I think is best that I leave out some of these techniques from this video. I'll see whether I want to put them in the public domain. But if you're genuine and authentic and you use a certain approach, they will listen to you. That doesn't mean they'll guarantee you an outcome, or there's so much they can do. But I can say this much, because I was one of the people who got CAFCASS. CAFCASS paid for my initial contact center. So they paid for the contact center visits. And they gave a plan to move forward, which there was, all kinds of sabotage going from the other side. So at the same time, I knew fathers who were paid through the nose, right? Later, I did pay, because after the certain number of sessions, I said I would pay. And I had to do that because a lot of things were going on. And again, there were threats to cut off contact completely. So I said I would pay. Oh, sorry. Oh, forgive me. It's so late at night now. It's probably like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I've been working the whole day since morning on this project. And I knew I had to make this go live before the end of the day. So after this, I'm gonna go to sleep. Hopefully, probably play a bit of games, a little bit, and then go to sleep. But yeah, so I was lucky, and CAFCASS did help a lot. And so you can get them to be on your side. And they really helped. They really, at some point, they took out the positive things that I was doing and the positive things that were happening. And we're telling the judge, these are the good things, that the positive things happening, encouraging the contact to happen. So you have to know how to talk to them. And again, I'm not guaranteeing that you get that kind of result, the same as I did. But you will get better results than if you don't know what you're doing. And you definitely can't avoid traps, because the traps are coming. The traps are inbuilt into the process. And there's quite a lot. And the idea I have now, so this is the idea I have for you, okay? So I would be very grateful for any feedback, any sort of information of how this could help you, or if it would be helpful to you. So I want to put together a program. I want to put together a premium program. And so I'll have resources that I'll make them more easily available, but I'll also have resources that I'll restrict, because I have to be sure that whoever gets them is really investing in them and is not going to share them with others. Not because I don't want to help others, but those are not things I want people to know, because it can destroy the chances of the genuine fathers who are really fighting for their kids. I'm not saying you are not, but I don't want people who are also against fathers to really get those things easily. And those people are very greedy, so they don't invest in things like that. So that's like a barrier and a protection. So the way the program would work, I want to call it the Forbidden Guide to UK Family Courts. The Forbidden Guide to UK Family Courts. The Forbidden Guide to UK Family Courts is a program that helps fathers see their children and to fight false allegations, so that they can rebuild their lives and rebuild their relationships with themselves and their children. So it contains techniques that most fathers don't know when they go into family courts. It contains truths about the family court that most fathers don't know. And I've touched on some of them before, but I go way deeper to help people understand really how it all works. And the reason why it's the Forbidden Guide is that it's uncensored and it's not politically correct. It is the truth as I see it. It is the truth as I see it. It goes against everything you know. It goes against social norms. It goes against even religion. It goes against your education. It goes against your morals. It is not something that will make you feel good and nice. It is something that will open your eyes and tell you the truth and help you see your kids, because it's a dirty fight, right? I'm not going to teach you how to do anything immoral. No, I'm not doing that. But I'm going to challenge your morals, because your morals are most likely not your morals. It's what you've been indoctrinated to be the nice guy that you think you're doing the right thing when you're doing the wrong thing. When you think you're sacrificing yourself and that's good, when actually that's not right. Because you're not a sacrificial lamb, you're a man. You're the most formidable creature that ever walked the surface of this planet. And you still are that creature. And I am that creature. We are those creatures. So we have to think like men, right? Unapologetically. We can, all the feminine mentality that we have through the way we're raised, you have to let it go, because it's not going to serve you in the family court. And what you think is masculine is not masculine. It's not about being aggressive. It's not about being macho. It's not about attacking people. It's not about hurting people. But it's about being who you truly are. Valuing yourself, revering yourself, close to worshiping yourself. And I know it may sound crazy to you because you don't understand it. And if you do understand it, then you know what I'm talking about. Because it's, all those things have been perverted. We've been lied to. When I say, oh, I worship myself. Yes, I do. No, you must be a narcissist. You see, that's the lie they tell you. But if you worship a female, there's nothing wrong with that. Think about it. If you say, I worship my wife, oh, that's so good. If your wife says, oh, I worship my husband, why? Well, are you not an independent woman? Oh, I worship myself. If a female says that, oh, yes, that's good. But a man says it, it's a problem, right? They'll call it narcissism, when that's not what narcissism is. Narcissism is a personality disorder. So there is a reality that is so different from what we've been blinded with from the lies that it sounds crazy when you say it. And I believe I'll be able to break through with the truth. So I'm working on the forbidden guide to the family courts. Let me know what questions you have, how such a guide might help you. I'll find a way to create it in such a way and do it in such a way that as many fathers as possible can get it. I'll put a price tag on it, and I'll put a premium price tag on it. But I'll also make a way for fathers who can't afford it to be able to still take part in it. Because I want fathers to win. Because when we win, our children win. So my time is up, as you can see. Just have a couple of minutes left. It's been a wonderful time talking to you. I'm so glad I stayed up instead of sleeping to do this live and share this stuff with you. So bravefathers.com is going to be the home for everything. You can already find me on X. You can find me on YouTube. I'm working on some other channels, but bravefathers.com, excuse me, so tired. Bravefathers.com is the main place where you can find me. So if you need help, give me a call. There's a number on the site, or send an email. So thank you so much for listening. My name is John Paul. I'm here to help fathers see their kids again, spend their kids, fight false allegations, and win in UK family courts. So again, thank you once again. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. So this is John Paul from bravefathers.com. I'm out. Are you a father facing false allegations in the UK family courts? Watch out. The new laws might make it even harder for you to see your kids. Inform yourself now.
bravefathers.com